Welcome to another episode of Fish Keeping Jamaica. Welcome to my channel. You wonder where I'm at? I'm at the back side of my pond system. I'll be talking about the piping. I'll be talking about why is it that my pipings are how they are. Stay tuned. Bush, or should I say grass, or foliage, whatever you call it, exists around this section of my ponds, right? This is my pond system from the other side. We are used to it from the front side, where you see just the containers, but this is where the pipes are at. For each container, there is a lock off, right? So therefore, if I want to change water, I just turn on this, and the water leaves from the container to a main line, and it enters and it goes straight to the end of this line, which is released at the back of my yard. Okay, so you might ask, so why is it that you actually have the piping here instead of here? Okay, accidents do happen, right? And as you can see, I have a lot of systems, roughly 15 of these containers lined at a section of my yard. When I'm doing water change, sometimes I might end up turn on 2 or 3 of these and actually release water in the back of my yard. After which, I'll actually fill each of them individually and then, continue along. Now, several times I have actually forgotten that I've actually turned on or off this. As a result of that, water have been released from my pond, right? Water have been released from my pond, and it is, it stops here. Thus, this is like an emergency section of my pond where it gives my fish, I say, breathing space, survival room for them to survive until I actually realize what happened. Okay, up to about here is covered with mud or dirt, right? For some ponds, like some of my Mbuna ponds, I have some rock work and I might have some potted plants in it, right? I use what I call I don't use union seals because I think that union seals are not as good as bulkheads. I use bulkheads instead, right? Now these bulkheads have been this system have been in place from 2017, right? And I haven't gotten any leakage. Okay, so water is changed on a scheduled basis, and for some containers, for example, this container is very deep. So what I tend to do, I tend to have an extended pipe at the base of this pond. I'm going to flip it up, hopefully you can see it. Extended pipe, what the extended pipe does, no you can't see it, but what it does, it actually can turn around, right? So depending on how much water I want to release, I actually just place this down. So I'm putting it up now, which gives me up until about here, about 3/4 of the way upward, right? And then I can just turn it around. So if I want a full pond water release, I put it as much as possible, point it as much as possible to the surface. At a later time, I will show you this when I'm doing a water change. Right now, no water change is due, and so therefore it's kind of a little bit difficult for you to see, I know. Alright, so coming down to my pond system. Alright, so each barrel pond have one of these, right? It has a release mechanism which actually releases the water in this main. Okay, so initially what I had planned is to have what you call an overflow system, and the overflow system would go from the pond at the top. When the water reaches a certain height, it will just come over into this section where it should actually go into the main and be released in the back of the yard. However, because of how the soil is set, sometimes rain do fall very hard and there's a little slight shift as to the gradient of the pond. So therefore I use blocks, yes, for it to be firmly fitted, but some ponds are tilted this way, some ponds are tilted this way, and some ponds are okay flat like that. So as a result of that, this overflow system doesn't really work as unique as I expected it to have worked. However, all pond system going down the line do have one. So I have an overflow I have an overflow I have an overflow pond system for this one. This is it for this. This is it for this. And coming down the line. Right? Now you might be wondering, so what is it that this pipe is for? Now initially when I started out in 2017, I had a very large pump. And the very large pump usually take water from the pond, and it usually take water from this section, right? And it usually put the water through a system, filtration system, and the barrel at the start here was the barrel in which I used to actually filter the ponds, right? But so that is the reason why this one is the only one that is actually about a 1 inch away from the base of the pond, right? So whenever I am maintaining this pond, I will have to pay special attention to it, because the fish going to have a small amount of water to survive, should in case they are left in it very long. Alright, so this was like the filter. And if you watch my first set of videos, you will see this barrel up on a big table and the pump actually pumping the water all through, right, with sand in it and gravel in it and sponge in it. Right, this is what I usually use to actually service my pond system as far as filtration is concerned. That was the area in which the pump was at, and the pump would actually be channeled this way, and the water would actually go through, and it have an inflow and an outflow, and it usually works very nicely, right? This is the front part of my pond system, where in which all my ponds are lined underneath the cherry tree. It's giving me problem now because a lot of leaves are falling into the ponds, right? But this is how it is. So each pond have an overflow system and an inflow. So it's outflow, inflow, overflow, inflow, and at the base you have outflow, right? So it would be like this all the way through to the end, and this is where the water would actually end up here. The water would actually end up here and go into the yard, right? I had planned to actually plant some fruit trees down there, but the sun is so hot that everything I placed there just dies. So I'm going to have to work out a shed area so that to get those water to be used like a recycle thing, right? The only set of ponds in which I have that doesn't connect to this system is my toads. My toads, each I have 6 of them, and each have about 250 gallons worth of water, right? They're cichlids and goldfish and koi. These are fries and smaller cichlids, right? So far everything has been going on good. As I said before, my plants, some of them are dying because of the extreme weather, and the cherry tree is actually shedding a lot of leaves. Okay, so I was planning to actually take down all of the ponds and throw them away. I'm still thinking about it, I just forget about this pond system. But I'm thinking about it still. I'm not sure. I'll let you know in the future what I'm going to be doing, right? But it's a lot of pipe, a lot of work. It took me an entire summer to actually put these together. And remember that we're talking about different species of fish. Thank you very much for stopping by. It was an awesome experience sharing this. Bye bye for now. Cool.